Hello, and welcome to today's exciting new tutorial. So today we are going to be going over QuickWrite, your very first QuickWrite. So before we get started, this is our prompt that we're going to be working on for today. It says, read the excerpt in chapter 1 on page 2. And from the excerpt, what is Percy's point of view toward Mr. Brunner? So how does Percy feel about Mr. Brunner? Correction, Mr. Brunner. How does Percy feel toward Mr. Brunner? What does he think of him, etc.? That's what the question is asking. So before I start here, I'm going to go ahead and make sure that I have races written down. So I'm going to make sure I write R, A, C, E. Okay. And now I'm going to make sure when I'm responding to this prompt, I'm going to be using races, the strategy, right? And so one box here. I'm doing 2 boxes for citing the evidence and explaining it because we need 2 pieces of evidence and we need to explain each piece. So you'll see what that looks like in a few minutes. So make sure you copy this right on your copy because this is what we're going to utilize to help us write our paragraph. And so here we go. So from reading this excerpt, oh, actually, let me go ahead and read the excerpt. Dun, dun, dun. Let me put it here. Okay. Here it is. Okay. So, but Mr. Brunner, our Latin teacher, was leading this trip. So I had hopes. Mr. Brunner was this middle-aged guy in a motorized wheelchair. He had thinning hair and a scruffy beard and a frayed tweed jacket, which always smelled like coffee. You wouldn't think he'd be cool, but he told stories and jokes and let us play games in class. He also had this awesome collection of Roman armor and weapons. So he was the only teacher whose class didn't put me to sleep. I hoped the trip would be okay. At least I hope that for once I wouldn't get in trouble. So that's the excerpt. And so from reading that excerpt, Percy's point of view toward Mr. Brunner is blank because blank. So this is where you're going to write. How does Percy feel about Mr. Brunner based on what you read? Does he like him? Does he not like him? And why? Okay, so you're going to write that there. Then you're going to go ahead and check off R for restate and the A for answer once you've completed those 2 steps, okay? Now it says, according to the text, it states, now we're entering the citing of the evidence part of races. As you notice, there's a comma and a quotation. Now, this is the part where we're looking for textual evidence, okay? And what we're going to do is we're going to go back to that excerpt and we're going to underline what line in here can I use to support how Percy feels about Mr. Brunner. Does he like him or does he not like him? Okay, now I have to prove it, right? What sentence in here? What sentence in here proves or supports the way Percy feels about Mr. Brunner? So you're going to underline one of those sentences, and then you're going to copy it word for word here. You're not going to put it in your own words. You're going to copy it word for word, okay? So once you do that, you're going to check off cite the evidence because you've cited evidence from the text. Then you're going to explain the evidence. So all of this is where you're going to explain that evidence. So this means, so this quote that you chose, what does it mean? Does it mean, you just put in your own words. And then this proves, right, this quote proves that Percy's point of view is that he likes Mr. Bruner or he doesn't like Mr. Bruner. Okay? So once you've done that part, okay, that is your explanation. So you're gonna go ahead and check off the E because you've explained your first piece of evidence, okay? So now what you're gonna do is you're gonna go back to where it says, according to the novel, it states. So now you're gonna go back to here, the excerpt, and find me another sentence that proves or shows how Percy feels toward Mr. Bruner. So pick another line from here and copy it word for word, okay? Once you do that, okay, you're going to, again, check off cited evidence because you've cited your second piece of evidence. Okay, so now you're going to explain your evidence. Same thing. This means, or this evidence means what? It means that it proves Percy likes Mr. Bruner or not. And tell me why, right? So you're going to answer this part. And once you're done with that, you're checking off the second E because you've explained your evidence. And the last part with the S is a summary. For this exercise, we're not going to do it, but we'll do it with the next one, okay? So this is like the quick rundown of how to do this QuickWrite. My class is going to be walking in any moment right now from lunch, so this was a little bit rushed, but I hope this was helpful. If you have any questions, please let me know. If there's anything confusing, again, let me know. And yeah, good luck with your first QuickWrite. I cannot wait to read all of your QuickWrites.